Welcome back for some more adventures with mud. Today in Tarpology, we're going to build a classic shelter, one that's very popular with the bushcraft community. It's the Holden Tent. We'll be using a 10 foot by 10 foot or a 3 meter by 3 meter square tarp. We're going to start by laying our tarp out flat, making sure that our ridgeline loops are going down the center from the front to the back. Then we'll go to the back two corners, stake them down, pulling them tight. Next, we're going to come to one of the front corners. We're just going to kind of pull it tight. We'll go one loop in, and we're going to bring this outside corner about a hand length away from that loop. We're going to stake it down, pulling it tight from the back. Then we're going to do the same thing to the other front corner. We'll just kind of pull that tight. Go one loop in, bringing that corner about a hand length away from that loop. We're going to pull it tight from the back and stake it down. Then we'll just come to the middle loop. We have a couple different options. We can either take our trekking pole, hook a guide line up to it, or in bushcraft fashion, I cut myself 2 sticks and lashed them together, make myself a bipod. We're going to hook up a guide line to that center loop and pull it tight. Then we'll go back to the back side. From the middle ridgeline loops, we're going to go from the end in one loop, attach yourself a guide line. If you do have a tree behind you, you can tie this up to a tree. I'm just going to grab myself a stick, wrap it out, pull this tight, give ourselves a little tension. Just to make sure I got a nice tight pitch, I'm going to go to the very middle loop on the sides. I'm going to pull them out a little tight and stake them down. Do the same thing to the next side. Going to go to the very middle loop, pull that out, stake it down. If you're like me and you do like to carry a chair, it is sitting up here pretty high. But I can always tuck all the way back in here if it was raining, and I have enough headspace that I can actually kick back in my chair. So if I wanted to sit back inside of the shelter, be able to cook out here in the front and stay out of any kind of weather, it does provide enough headroom for that. More than enough space for 2 people, plus your gear. Very spacious for 1 person. Without having the trekking pole right in the center, it does allow a little bit more easy access in and out. You just have to watch that guide line that's sitting out in the front. Either way, if you're using the bipod or if you're using a trekking pole for your front entryway, you can always hang a lantern there. Provide you plenty of light while you're sitting in your shelter. Thank you for joining me today. Stay tuned. Laters, y'all.